Hello world! WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Now, it's safe to say that we're pretty much done with turtles right now. As you knew before, basically the problem I was having currently was the fact that variables did not persist when you logged off. So as soon as you logged off, they're done for, they get scrapped, they don't get saved anywhere, and your quarry's as good as dead. Now, I've managed to solve that. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't due to my own ingenuity, but I wish I could have said that. But then I'd be lying. I'm just not a liar, you know? I just don't want to lie to the good people of Minecraft. Speaking of which, I should probably close these little holes that were caused by my turtle going kamikaze. That seems good. Seems legit. Anyways, so what was I saying? Yes, I managed to find a solution by looking on the interwebs and talking to the good people on the IRC. Won't name which one because that would give away my secret source. So, what I did was added in something called a persistent variable API. What a persistent variable is a variable that gets saved somewhere on your computer so that it can be used at another time. Kind of like a variable, but since it's saved on the computer in a file location, it actually can be called upon later. Now, this is the persistent variable API that I am using, and I added it into my quarry and my movement areas. This is the persistent variable API made by Cookieball, I do believe, creator of Cookie System. Now, I'm not going to use Cookie System, but I am using his API for the persistent variable so that this will actually work a lot better. Now, the only problem I had so far was that the fact that when you're calling or reading the variable, it actually returns either a string or a float. And if anyone out there is a good programmer, you'll know that the equals, the thing that compares two variables and checks if they're exactly equal to each other, does not work with floats. So what I did was I just added 0, and for some reason that worked perfectly. So I'm going to save quarry, exit quarry. Move pretty much has the exact same thing, copy and pasted right above it, so it'll work. So what we're going to do is just, let's see, does paste bin work now? Yes, okay. I'm going to put my movement API out there. It's going to contain the Cookieball API, so keep that in mind. Just follow that link for the movement API if you want to use it. And also, I'll put my quarry program out. Now, I know there's some things that I can do to make my quarry API a lot better, and I'm going to do those eventually. I'm actually going to do those when Season 3 comes about, because I don't want to do them right now. That'll be just too boring and, awesome. But at least I know how to do that. So what I'm going to do is go into Lua and just load the API so that I can set the position. Move os.load API quarry, and I'm going to set the location once again. Thankfully, this will probably be the last time I ever do this. Move.setPosition, and judging by how many times I actually entered this, I should know it by heart anyways. 260, and it's a 2 right now. Now with that, I'm going to quarry.dimensions, since we don't actually have the dimension saved, 16 by 16 by 50, why not? And let's have it so that it starts at the place we were at before, 102. Is it 5.9? I'm not sure. I'll check that when I drop down in the hole. 271. Okay. 102, 5.9, 271. 271 is correct. And 5.9 is correct. So let's just tower up. And unfortunately, I have to knock these out while I'm doing that. Tower up. Tower, 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 tower. So much tower. Okay, so those variables are correct. Let's start this. It'll go out. It'll do its business. Then it'll come back. Now, eventually, I'm going to need to find an Enderman because I'm going to want to make a world anchor. World anchor is going to be mighty useful indeed, mwahaha, but it needs an ender pearl, which is unfortunately one of the more difficult ones to get. So, I guess I can leave this thing to run by its lonesome, since there's not going to need to be any maintenance, other than the fact that I'm going to have to find a way to load in a bunch of fuel, but that will be remedied soon. Now, charcoal would be probably a very good idea to get going, and that's probably why I originally started making so many trees. Maybe I can find where my freaking birch sapling is, because that would be very useful. And also, I got a lot of rubber, and these bees seem to be doing well, actually. Sure, one of the bees kind of perished in the fact that, you know, it's no longer existent, but that's not too much of a thing to worry about. Now, the coke oven seems to be lacking in the fact that it's not actually getting any more coal coke. So eventually I'm going to have to make some more of that, and also I'm going to have to fill up the generator again. I think 6 will do. So that will fill that up. We'll get our iron smelting, and let's see, do we have any other things that we can smelt? Let's get the rest of our copper macerated, and then we can continue with that. Now, what type of machine? We're going to need to expand our storage, so we're going to need some more wood, but we don't have any wood. We have a way to get wood at least, so that's a plus. And we're going to really need to expand our base so that we'll be able to have a lot more room for future endeavors. Now, what I'd like to get is some sort of, you know, what is it? The word escapes me. Yes, I'd like to get oil, but considering that I have no current way to store it, I do actually have a way to store it. What I could do is either make a bunch of those, or I could make a tank. A tank using a bunch of iron tank walls, tank gauges, and valves. Iron plates require a rolling machine, which requires 9 iron at a time. But what's probably a better use of my time and my energy is to actually use generators to make a bunch of new materials and then make advanced circuitry. Now, advanced circuitry, what can I make right now? I have an apiary. That's one thing I need. I need a centrifuge. A centrifuge would be good. Centrifuge requires copper, which I'll get. Copper, we need more tin, and glass we got. So we'll make some more of these bronze. Bronze. Okay, copper. Check. And glass. Okay, now that we have our centrifuge, we're going to have to find a place to put it. Seeing as all of our engines are currently taken, let's get this turtle. We'll put you and you in a separate location. Well, you guys I consider as tools, so we might as well put you in with the tools. What's this? Scented paneling, which is going to need beeswax and pollen and royal jelly. And honey, which I'm going to need to get the centrifuge to do. So I might as well set up the centrifuge, which I'm doing right now, and stone gears will be a good thing to get. Now I'm also going to need, Why is it always nighttime when I need to go and get stuff? It's unbelievable. And Covert Jaguar somehow managed to push out another release of Railcraft. So that's something that's going to be very interesting to get once I, get it. I don't get it. How's the quarry doing? It's doing. Okay, so I'll go get some more wood so that we'll actually have some chests and stuff to use. And then I'll be right back. Okay, I think I definitely have enough of this to get around, so I'll just make 4 more chests. 4 should be the best amount. What am I doing? I'm messing up the 4. The 4 doesn't like me anymore. Anyways, now that I have the 4 chests, I'll be able to make it a lot better in the future. Let's put this here because Minecraft doesn't have the awesomeness that is awesome. Okay, so what do I consider junk? This is miscellaneous. It's not junk. This is stuff. This is tools. I might as well have this as other stuff. So I could eventually sort this. Sulfur is sucky. And let's see. This is precious stuff. So let's just sort our inventories and get on with it. Okay, this seems good. So I'm smelting all of my oak wood so that I can make a lot of charcoal, which will be a lot more energy efficient. So that's one thing. Now what I could do is use 3 of my other diamonds that I currently have to make one of those logging turtles, but that would be a little stale currently. I want to get away from the turtles. That's why I'm doing other stuff. No point going insane about it. Okay, so getting one more engine so that I can place my centrifuge right here, and we're not really worrying about automation currently at this point since we don't have enough stuff to automate. So one little bit of charcoal should be enough to get going. So let's go into here. Start this up, see how many pulls it takes to go. Now, unfortunately, charcoal doesn't really work in here, so I can't really use that to my advantage. We got a centrifuge, we got a squeezer, we got a carpenter. And since I have my carpenter, I might as well make use of it, not making other apiaries because that is a joke right now. Just look at the apiary I have. Well, I don't really have any bees anyways, so I can't really do anything with the apiary. Though I can upgrade it. Let's see, what do I need to use for the apiary? Baskets? Oh no, let's look. It's an item in the forestry section, which we're probably passing. Where are you? Untreated frames, which is just sticks. Impregnated, and proven, which I cannot prove how to get. Now, the impregnated sticks takes... Oh, that might be worthwhile, though. Okay, so let's take a bunch of this so we can just carpenter it. So we got that. So how many will 16 make? We need to make 24, 12, and 6. No. No, this would be enough, just enough for pretty much 2 baskets, and 2 baskets might make it run efficiently. So let's get our cans so that we can get 2 seed oils. Throw these in. Filling up, good. And we just have to pull this lever and then we'll start carpenting some stuff. That might be enough energy, and this is running low, so we're going to have to use 10 of these. Or actually, let's do 5. That's good, that's good. Now we're going to need to macerate some more stuff. So let's do that. Maceration of iron, sure. So throw all of that in there, we'll get some more iron ore, then we'll be able to make some more stuff. Now we do have honey drops, that's good. Hey, wait, is it yielding more? Did I have 5 combs in there? I didn't think I did. Stop being so confusing. Okay, so we got some more impregnated sticks, and my estimation that it'll be 2 is unfortunately correct. So let's wait for all of those to be done anyways. We don't really have anything else to do. What we can do though is make some stuff ready for... Wait, we don't... Yes, there we have our extra stuff. Now we want to make some other... what is it? Yes, we want to make a pump. Not a red power pump since we don't exactly have that mod yet, though it is in its beta stage, I can tell you that much. What we want to make is a Buildcraft pump, so we'll be able to easily make some Buildcraft fuel or oil or whatever the heck you want to call it when we actually find it. Now there's some unfortunate circumstances with that. Oh, let's see how this is. And I'll talk while I'm going there. Now, there's some unfortunate circumstances in the fact that I don't have any cactus whatsoever. And it's probably one of the only efficient ways to get oil to go at different locations. Now, this is going pretty well. That's good. It's collecting resources, so that's all I can really hope for. And I'm manually feeding it in, so this setup pretty much guarantees that only one item will go in at a time. Only one item will get sucked up at a time, which is what I want. I don't want it to take so much energy that it won't be able to do anything. Anyways, going onwards, so basically what we need to do is take this mining well, feed it in with some fuel. No, that's not what he was saying. Ah, yes. We don't have any cactus, thus we're not able to make any waterproofed pipes. So what we're going to have to do is either A, find some cactus, which is not exactly the most sane thing to do necessarily, or B, we can make some mining, well, tanks or stuff like that. Actually, tank up the oil instead of sending it right here to be tanked. Now that might actually be the most efficient use of our time. So what I'm thinking is if I can actually use this correctly, say we have an oil well right here, we'll just place the mining well or the actual well thing there, but we'll actually put a bunch of tank or one big tank where the valve is right next there. It'll fill up with oil. And what we can do right away is refine it. Oh, crud, we still need waterproof pipes. So we can't really do any Buildcraft stuff until we have waterproof pipes because there's no way to actually get it out from the area without using waterproof pipes. So maybe what I can do is make a bunch of rails and rail beds, maybe send myself off into the Merry Blue yonder looking for all of that stuff. Rail beds made with this, standard rails, good. Rolling machine, excellent. So what I think would be a good idea would be to basically roll a bunch of our rails. And let's see. Still have enough for more. So we might as well start this thing off with a big bang. So 2 of those, that'll be enough to actually start it. So it'll manually put all the items in. Okay, no recipe. This is gonna have to turn off. There's no energy stored in it. That's good. We're still going to need to make those tanks anyways. There's no second guessing that part, at least in our plan. And we might as well make some of these frames as well. Go in the recipe, henceforth. Impregnated frames. This will probably yield 40% the original value instead of the 100% that it was at. Currently it's at 10%. I'm not sure what the dynamics are, but I know that adding frames, if you get the best frames, will bring it up to its like highest level or some other thing like that. Anyways, now while we're getting that done, we're going to need to carpenter some stuff. Now, this is unfortunate, because we're going to have to actually get all of this stuff out, and the only way to do that is to use most of our energy to do so. Hopefully that's efficient enough to make the rest of the impregnated frames. Maybe we can get a pipette while we're waiting. Pipette. The pipette can actually get the stuff out of it, though I don't know if it actually returns anything when we use it. So this and wool, which we actually have for once in our miserable lives. So pipette, this tool will use once this is done. It's currently at like a liter or something. And this is definitely not at a liter. Did you make anything? No, you didn't so far. Shame on you. Shame on you, bees. You should be better than that. Ah, sigh. Bee puns never really get old, do they? Anyways, got some more useful stuff which we can use, and we actually caught coal. That's good. So, this recently went. Actually deposited everything. That's good. So it's currently going, and it only took 4 coal coke from the last time. So 4 coal coke for each round is a pretty decent number, I gotta say. And it's starting to get nighttime. So we're gonna have to throw this coal coke in right away so that we'll have our most efficient coal. Throw in the coal to get coal coke. I'm starting to lose it. And we only have 2 diamonds. Ah, yes, I made pipes. That's unfortunate. Oh, crud. Derp. There we go. Make the rest of the rails, mi bucko. Or, I didn't really need to pull those out, but I guess whatever. Okay. This is almost done. We're going to, unfortunately, need to waste some more of this precious stuff. But hopefully it's able to take some stuff. Now, I'm going to need to get some actual liquid over here, so throwing this in will be what I need to do afterwards. So, pipette. How do I use this pipette? Left click. Right click. There we go. Now it's empty. Unfortunately, that means I must have taken everything out. So, okay, so oak. Wooden ties, please. Not the most efficient way to do things, but it works. Okay, now I'm actually going to need to make some more wood. So we're going to need to eventually go out and get some more. So that's going to take a while, but I am actually being efficient enough in my usage. And that needs more energy, so let's throw in. And that fire gauge is definitely glitched. There's no second guessing that, at least. So this iron is done, so let's throw that in. This is done. So can you please take all the energy from it? Good. Now that we got some standard rails, we're going to need to make a bunch of high-speed ones. And high-speed ones take redstone to get the sturdy rails. I didn't need that. Oh, we got seed oil in the pipette. Wonder how much it actually knows is in there. Oh well. So we got seed oil. Judging by, that's probably a gauge to tell how much is in there. What was I saying? Yes. High-speed rails take gold and they take redstone. So if we use both of them, we can make some advanced rails, and when we use advanced rails, let's see what they're used in. They're used in booster tracks, elevator tracks, which actually would probably be a very smart thing to do. Advanced rails, boarding track, holding track. Basically, boarding track only sends it in one direction. Holding track actually maintains the direction that it goes. Disembarking, control track, not sure how the disembarking works. Then there's the embarking and the gated one-way track. Basically a lot of things, which... Crowbar. Basically a lot of things that will help me out in the future when I'm actually doing rail stuff. Yes, rail stuff. So, I'm going to need to eventually make a bunch of that stuff. But I want to see if there's any sort of way to automate like a tree farm other than going full tortoise, because I'm going to need diamonds to be able to do that. And this is still taking a long arse time, so I'm not sure even how I'll be able to... Hey, I still have one. Yay, I still have more stuff, so I can at least get a bit more yield than I currently am getting. Because there's no point only putting like 1 or 2 frames. I might as well go whole hog. Yeah, I can't speak it today. There you go. Have a nice day. Okay, so I'm going to need to find an oil well, but I'm going to need to find some form of way to get out of this hellhole, I'd like to say. Well, not really a hellhole, seeing as I'm going towards a desert for freaking cacti. But it might be a very, 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 very... I have 2 diamonds left, but I don't have any obsidian, so what I could do is halt my turtle, bring it towards an obsidian place that we found earlier, and just tell it to get as much obsidian as it can, then resume its current thing that it's doing. And it seems like this is still going. And where are you right now? Yeah, you're going pretty well, and we have another thing down there. Yes, coal. Yes, that's what we'll call it. We'll call it a thing. Yay, we love my... I'm not even going to go there. So, basically make a bunch of rails with the rail beds that I'll eventually get, and then I'll be able to make a lot more stuff. Now, I should get some more rubber, but I'm still going to need... I'm going to need to get some more saplings, unfortunately, because being the crazy person that I am, I managed to send basically all of my stuff into the furnace to get all of this stuff, which I'll throw into the furnace as well. Might as well. Why not? Yes. Okay, so these wooden ties are going to take a while to make, unfortunately. I'm not sure why it's such a tedious task, but what have you. Gonna need to make more wood. Creosote oil is going. Stone ties. How do I make stone ties? Stone ties are made with rebar, with stone slabs, which are made by rolling it. Stone rail beds are made with that, and what do stone rail beds are used for reinforced rails. But I need obsidian dust and steel ingots to be able to make that, which is not a prudent investment currently. So what I think I'll do is actually probably just see if I can get an Enderman, fight one for my life. Fight for my life. It's a fight for the life. The final countdown. Man, you're a dork. Anyways, I'll try to find one of those so that this quarry can continue on for as long as it needs to be. Maybe you can find a chunk boundary very easily, but the chunk loader block is probably going to right away require stuff. Anyways, maybe I can find through geography or geology or whatever where this chunk is, I might as well put it pretty much right here because it's going to be a 3x3 area. And this is finally finishing, so we can see what type of booty we actually got. He said booty. Okay. Let's see where you go. So probably refuel when it stops. But let's see. You got quite a bit of coal actually. 13, not too much, but it is worthwhile. So now it's refueling. And it stopped. So how much refuel did you take? You took 5. So now what I'll have you do is actually go out and go to my go down way over here and get some of the stuff from here. So what's the location here? Actually have a piece of paper and a pencil. That's gonna be fun. Okay. I need to go to, let's see, negative 93, 35, 246. So just go out a ways, dig down, and I'll bring it over here. That'll be simple. Won't have to dig a trench or anything like that. Okay, we're here. Let's see how much the anchor actually takes. The anchor takes 2 obsidian, so we might as well just get 2 obsidian. And yes, it managed to dig through some sort of water source. So let's do .dig down, move .minus x, and turtle.dig down. So we got our 2 obsidian. So let's just go and resume the quarry. Hopefully this works. I want to resume the quarry at all costs. Okay, so while that's doing that, I might as well see if I can find any way to get any sort of ender pearl whatsoever. So that's going to take a while to do, so I'll have to wait for nightfall and actually have to find an enderman to fight. That's probably not going to go the best, but we're going to see how that goes. So I'll see you at nightfall. Shiver. Okay, it's nighttime. And stuff are already attacking me. So we got a nice little creeper that's going to want to say hi. Hey there, little creeper. Can you show me to an enderman, buddy? I want to see enderman, buddy. No? Okay. So, with the very hard creepers currently, 1 blast with full iron armor leaves me at a heart left. Yeah, that sucks. So I'm going to have to figure out some way to stop that eventually. But it's not going to have to be too much of a worry right now, since they're not going to attack me when I'm right next to them. But that could be a possibility. So I just have to find that enderman, which is probably going to take longer than I thought. Ah, there we go. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully one of them gives an ender pearl. Hopefully. Okay, fighting. Hopefully they don't kill me either, because... oh my god. There you are. This is not exactly the funnest of them all. Okay, where are you? That's just cheap. Okay, come on. Okay, got 1 ender pearl. Yeah, that went well. That went well indeed, yes. I didn't get damaged at all. No. Yeah, that's went surprisingly well. Okay, so might as well see if I can get another. But we'll see how that goes. Come on. Why dost thou teleport? There we go, and you gave me an ender pearl too, so that's good. So let's get back to our house and then sleep this night off because it was a very, 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 very bad night. Okay, here we are with our diamonds, and we can actually make our little ender voyage making thingy, my bobber, yes. And we got a world anchor. Now, hopefully no creepers are going to attack us while we place this, but we're gonna have to find, there's a creeper. We're gonna have to find a good place for this. Now, I wish I didn't have creepers here. Get away from my machines. Now I have to keep this as entombed in the world anchor as I possibly can. F10, I believe, is my anchor key. So this has to be in. So the worst possibility is when I place it down like this, it will be in the chunk right there. So probably what I'll do is bring this up and put it right here. And I probably won't be able to break that. Nope. Okay, so F10. Giving our anchor effect. And are we within it? Yes, that's within it. That's within it. And it looks like our entire quarry area is actually within the bounds of our world anchor. Actually, it's just within the bounds. Is it? Wish there was a way to see. Let's see if we can actually go up here and tell. It might be just in the world anchor. So hopefully it is. If it's not, I'm pretty much screwed. But if it's not, what's the worst possibility? That the thing will just be unloaded, won't do any work, and that's not too much of a bad thing, really. I'm at least sure this is 9. I might have to do some more research to see what the actual amount is, but I digress. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.